Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany, and today's message is going to be titled, God says, I'm not mixing this and that. So this message is actually coming from the other day. I was spending some time with the Lord, and he was just telling me about the journey and some of the things that can't go on the journey, and just some of the things that I needed to just start to make peace with. And then I came up with this word, and I was like, okay. And so the Lord wants me to share this word with you guys. And it's just saying, God saying, I'm not mixing this and that. As it pertains to order and disorder, righteous and unrighteous, blessings with those that come in to steal, kill, and destroy, things of the kingdom and things of this world. God says, I'm not mixing it. I'm not mixing this and that. So I was kind of having a talk with the Lord about the delay of kingdom promises, some of the things that can cause delay. And I wrote out some things, so I just want to go over that with you guys, okay? And so different beliefs. I know a lot of you guys, God has spoken a word. Some of y'all are tired. You tired of hearing about it. You're tired of watching about it. You're tired of even waiting on it. And it's just different things. So if, as it pertains to beliefs, someone can come in and, steal, kill, and destroy that belief system, especially if you're waiting on a promise to come to pass and it's not going the way that you thought it might go. Okay, so then the enemy comes in and tries to attack that, get you to be, impatient, and fall for a counterfeit offer, counterfeit opportunity, a counterfeit person, whatever that looks like. Okay, because we don't have patience. And then just different things and ideas can cause delay. As it pertains, again, taking another route when God has already spoken a thing, that can cause delay. Okay, different people. If you're needing to cut some people off for growth, that can cause delay. Okay, because sometimes God will say no, they can't come. So I mean, if you worried about losing your last little couple of friends, and God is saying that them friends can't go because I'm gonna give you new friends, then you have to be obedient to that, because God knows the hearts and the minds of people. And so just save yourself the time, because he can foresee, he sees the end from the beginning. And so he already knows that once you get in the promise, these people are not fit to be there. So God will put it in your heart, hey, cut these people off. These people are not like you. These people are not for you. Go ahead and leave them where they at. Go ahead and start distancing yourself so that you can go to the plans that I have for you. And he will make that very clear to you, because God uses people, but so does the enemy. So a lot of the times, if you ask God about people, again, I say this in a lot of my videos where I talk about relationships, he responds quickly. Like if you pray about somebody, a lot of the times God will respond to you that day or the next day, because it's like, and the confirmations will be everywhere, because again, God uses people, but the enemy uses people as well. So he's always wanting us to run these people by him, especially if you have a question about a particular person or group of people, right? Another thing is mindset. A lot of God is trying to take people, places, different things, different kingdom promises, especially as it relates to business and things like that. And if you have an old mindset, an old way of thinking, maybe you're going to have to adapt a new way of thinking for going to this business venture with this new mindset. Okay, just different things like that. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about is people that God is leading you guys to cut off. Again, God looks at the hearts and the minds of people. Okay, and if a person has a bad heart, there is no reason you should even want to tag a person along. And people that are praying for good friends. So let's just say you went through a season of isolation where you had to cut people off, and maybe you're already a person that only has a couple friends left, and you might only have one or two good friends left. Some of you guys might not have any friends. Okay, but when God tells you to cut something off, just like you guys pray for a spouse, or you pray for finances or anything like that, you can pray for friends, and in your season, God will bring you the people that you need. That's why purpose is so important, because wherever you're going, you'll meet your people. And that's also why being obedient is so important, because again, God is not going to mix this and that. He's not going to mix good people with people that are raggedy that he's telling you to cut off. It just don't work like that. And furthermore, okay, when he brings you new friendships and new relationships, it's just not going to mix with that anyway. So it's just kind of like, sometimes I know a lot of y'all don't like to cut off, but sometimes you might have to walk away, distance yourself from people so that you don't hinder your own blessings. Okay. Because in due season, we'll reap a harvest. And you don't want to be at the harvest with people that don't deserve to be there. Because again, the enemy comes in to steal, kill, and destroy. So you'll be eating with people like Judas when it wasn't intended for it to go that way, right? The next thing is going to be cleaning up situations. So if you guys are believing God for kingdom marriage, standing for kingdom marriage, waiting for your person, getting your household in order. So getting your household in order is going to look different for everybody, because it could be talking about cleanliness, which, not everybody moves at the same rate as it pertains to cleanliness. If you deal with something like depression or anxiety or being overwhelmed, or maybe you're a single parent, you will tackle cleaning a different type of way. So whatever that looks like. But order is also talking about like getting your children in order. If you have children and you're going into a kingdom marriage, getting them in routine, making sure that they're respectful, teaching them how to be respectful, praying for them, things like that. Because God does not want us to, and I know sometimes these things seem like tasks, right? And I know a lot of people, when they start hearing tasks, they're like, oh, more rules, more things I need to do. But these are things that we should be just doing anyway, because nobody wants to walk into kingdom promises falling apart. You don't want to walk into any type of promises with things that you were supposed to cut off, like the bag lady or the bag man. Like, you want to be obedient to whatever it is that God is calling you to do. As it pertains to co-parenting, I know sometimes we just can't get it right. We're imperfect people. Sometimes we cannot get that cookie cutter co-parenting relationship. It just doesn't always happen like that. But as good as you can get it, as much order as you can get it, because again, God is a God of order. He's not going to be mixing this and that. And if you just cannot deal with a person, don't deal with them. Buy the 3-year-old baby a phone and do it that way. Whatever you have to do to have some sort of structure and order in your co-parenting, we need to be able to do that. Because just because a person is ignorant, or a person that doesn't want to listen, or whatever the case is, doesn't give us a reason or an excuse. Like, sometimes we just have to be more strategic about how we co-parent. We have to be more strategic. And the more, messed up your situation is, now, if it's a person that just don't help you and you hanging on to them and this sort of thing, that might be somebody you need to cut off and go on your new journey, just you and your kid, whatever that looks like for you. But again, whatever it is that God is calling you to order as far as your household, we want to make sure that we're getting ourselves in order and getting our households in order. We're going in purpose, okay? This has to do with ourselves. Whatever it is that God is leading you to do, make sure we're not just sitting idle. Make sure that we're staying prayed up. Make sure that, we're reading the word of God. We're praying, so that he can make the crooked path straight for us. We don't have to be out here like Roman ducks. God will give you instruction. God will give you direction. He will make those crooked paths straight. A lot of the times, though, you have to quiet your mind. You have to quiet your life. And this may go with cutting off people as well. You have to get in a quiet place, get in a secret place where you can actually hear God speak. Now, when you go out and look for confirmation, or you go out and like, okay, I believe I heard God, let me confirm it. It's already on the inside of you. Someone will come along and confirm what's already on the inside of you, and you can know that you're moving accordingly, right? Because that's how this works. God is also saying, I'm not mixing blessings, okay, with those that come in and steal, kill, and destroy. Again, in due season, we're all going to reap a harvest. And so if you're not careful and you don't lead the different people and opportunities when God tells you to lead them, you will be in the wrong place, or you'll be in those blessings at their, scheduled time with people that are not supposed to reap with you. Now, how detrimental would that be? Again, God looks at the minds and the heart of people. And so you just don't want that to be the situation, right? But God says, I'm not mixing it, okay? So Matthew 7:16, as it pertains to people, talks about, the Bible says that we will know them by their fruit. A bad tree cannot produce good fruit, and a good tree cannot produce bad fruit. Patience is what determines this. A lot of the times, if you just sit back, you'll see what a person would rather do, and you can be able to move accordingly, right? Because fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, and patience. Those two big ones, especially as it pertains to people. Self-control is a big one as it pertains to people. We have to start watching these things, and as long as you're patient, you'll be able to determine who's your people and who's not your people. Okay. Because sometimes it take a little bit before you can get it, but once you get in, you there, and God's like, no, them not your people. I need you to move forward. And they're going to keep you from moving forward because they're probably not moving, or they're not moving with you, or they're not moving where God is calling you to go. And sometimes you got to let people go so that you can grow. A lot of you guys will realize that you cut off the right people when you start accelerating. Soon as you start telling these people, no, I don't want to participate. I'm going to go do this thing. I'm going to go into my business venture. I'm going to go into what God calling me to do. I'm going to go over here and do this. I love y'all, whatever, but I'm going to be over here doing this. Y'all can call me if y'all, just want to talk or whatever, but I can't spend hours and hours on the phone with you every day because God calling me to do this. I can't do that with y'all no more. And we got to be okay with that, right? Because God will make the crooked path straight for you. And again, as it pertains to people, if it's an ex and you going back and you messing with this ex and you believe in God to bring your person, if you want God to bring your person, God ain't mixing this and that. And not even if you just hit the person up when you lonely, if you hit them up when they bored, or you just hit them up like, okay, ain't nobody gonna know, just this one time. God is not gonna mix this and that. God is a God of order. He's not mixing order and disorder. And a lot of times on this faith walk, you will have to lay something down. In order to gain much more, you always have to lay something down. You always have to walk away from something. We have to be running people, ideas, situations, opportunities, all of these things by God. Because again, if you get trapped in the wrong, either one of these, you could end up going down a whole nother path that God didn't intend for you to go down. So it's always very important, even as it pertains to opportunities. Okay? Opportunities, different, ideas, running these ideas by God, because who wants to chase an idea and God say, I wasn't in there, and then you get down there, you wasted more time, and this is not what God called you to do. This is not what God had in mind. We have to start submitting to the will of God. What is it that you want us to do so that we can be obedient and we can be practical in doing this, right? But God is not going to mix the good people with the old people, okay? God is not going to mix a fresh relationship with that ex where you ain't got no control over there on that side. He's not going to mix it up like that, okay? He's not going to mix someone who's sound mind in order and you come with all your stuff and you ain't got nothing in order. He's not going to mix it up like that, okay? God is saying, I'm not mixing order and disorder. I'm not mixing righteous and unrighteous. I'm just not going to mix it up. You got to pick a side. You got to lay something down, okay? And that's just the message. And this message was even for me. Okay. And in the act of obedience, whatever it is that God is asking you guys to be obedient to, we want to make sure that we being obedient, laying down whatever, picking up whatever it is that God is asking us to pick up. Okay. Keeping the door closed, whatever it is that God is closing the door on, keeping it closed. Some of y'all is up. God has closed it. He has closed it. You have to redirect, reroute, get back in prayer, see what it is he wants you to do, because he closed it. But as soon as those doors close, just as good as a door can close, another door can open. Okay? We have to be patient. We have to be mindful. We have to be willing. All of these things, right? And it really is that simple. But a lot of the times, we get stuck. We get stuck in opportunities, or we get stuck with people. And once we're stuck, we're like, God, how are we going to get out of this? What should we do? Rather than bringing the people, places, things, ideas, mindsets, opportunities to God before they take place, before they go forth and saying, God, I'm thinking about this. Are you with this? God, I'm thinking about this person. Is this a good person? God, I'm thinking about going there, moving there. I'm thinking about this opportunity. I'm thinking about this situation. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Because again, we find ourselves in the situations or around the people or in the opportunity like, I don't think God told me to come here. Now what I'm going to do? Right? Because when you don't ask, that do happen. It happens a lot. So it's like, God's like, I'm not mixing order and disorder. But again, if you end up in that season with your blessings, okay, because if it's not hindering your blessings, and let's just say you have a marked time where God wants to bless you, whether this is financially, whatever this is, if you want to bless your business, whatever it is, okay, you get to the set place at the set time with the wrong people, that could be detrimental to you. It really can, because the enemy will come and steal, kill, and destroy, and you won't even be able to enjoy your blessings. And that ain't fair to nobody, okay? But God is saying, I'm not mixing this and that. Get everything in order. Get your affairs in order. Get your house in order. Get your children in order. Get yourself in order. Okay? We have to be in order too. We have to be being obedient too. We have to be walking with the Lord too. We have to be doing what it is that he told us to do too. We can't be idle either. We have to remain in prayer as well. We have to remain in our word as well. We can't just be sitting idle. The enemy uses idleness. The enemy uses idleness. A message just popped up and said, don't worry, you're not alone. Even though my phone is on airplane mode. So maybe that might be a word. That might be a word for somebody. You're not alone. Okay? You're not alone. Don't worry about it. Okay? But that's the message. Like, God is not going to mix it up. We got to make some choices. This season is too detrimental. This season is too important. Where God is taking you guys is too important. You're too close to the promise to be, oh, I wonder if it was my ex. I wonder if I should go back to I wonder if I should go, like, I'm so bored and I'm so tired of being in isolation. I wonder if I should go start hanging with them again. You too close. Run these people by God. Run these opportunities by God. I wonder if I should take a job here. I wonder if I should take a job there. I wonder if God's telling me to sit still. I wonder if I should start the business. I wonder if I should, you know what I'm saying? We too close. He rewards everything that we do in private. He rewards it. So that time that we spend with God is so important, because he'll tell you where to go, what to do, who to avoid. This is your instructions. This is your path. This is what I want you to focus on. You'll have peace about it. You won't be confused. There will be no anxiety. You'll just have a peace about it. And not only will you have a peace about it when it's from God, you'll walk right into it. And that's kind of just how it goes. So I didn't want this to be a really long video. This was definitely for me. I hope this message blessed somebody. But again, God is saying, I'm not mixing this and that in this hour. We have to make some very important and detrimental choices and decisions. And that's going to look different for everybody. There is not anybody that will come across this video that don't have any choices or decisions to make, especially if you're going into the kingdom land. If you're going into your kingdom promises, we always have decisions to make. Life is all about choices. We always have choices to make. Where we should go, what we should do, what we should eat. We always should have choices. And it is so much better to run those choices by God before they happen or before you get into them, rather than trying to see your way out of something that you realize wasn't from God. Okay? So that's the message. God is not mixing this and that. Seek the Lord for your approval. Okay? That's the message, y'all. Bye.